Come down. Ooh, you make my high come down. Always tripping when you come around. Never have to cut you out like right now. You see, I don't have to drive me. You can say that for your mama. Maybe you should smoke some. Me try the marijuana. I was never you good. The vibe was straight. Showed you a couple of things and they feel strange. I treated you right. Everything was a gift from a time to your bag and the color on your lip. Welcome to a special edition of Seahawks Man to Man, a YouTube exclusive. My name is Michael-Shawn Dugar. You guys can follow me on whatever Elon Musk is calling that app these days. My at name has not changed. Also, right there under my chin. There we go. If you're here, you already know what our YouTube channel is, Seahawks Man to Man. It's the name of the channel, Seahawks Man, the number 2 man. Since you're here, before we get going, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I really appreciate the love. Our Instagram and our TikTok handles are the same as this. So go there. We got clips up if you're just like, this too long. That's cool. We got shorter versions for you. We love you. So appreciate the love and support on that. Thank you. Chris, go ahead, talk to him.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher Kidd. You can follow me on Blue Sky and Twitter at CKIDD206, and that's CKid206. Had to catch myself from yawning. It's late, but not that late. But anywho,
it is late.
As Mike mentioned, it's time for Standout Plays, and I'll just take it away because I think I'm like 6 for 6 on doing it first. So why not keep it going? And one player who I want to touch on is everyone's favorite. You guys love this guy. I mean, wow. Riq Woolen. Can't get enough of him. Well, you know what? He actually had a really decent game against the Texans. He was physical, really tight coverage. And I just thought, you know what? Why not show a little love to the guy? He's had a very challenging season just because one week he could play good for 3 quarters, and then one play, it could all go downhill. And that's happened too many times for him, but that wasn't the case on Monday Night Football. Even on a play where our film, where we watch it, screwed it up because they had the right play in time, but when you watch the play, it was a completely different play. So I couldn't even put it in here. I wanted to use the broadcast, but it doesn't have the same effect. I'll be honest with you. So I had to scrap one play that I wanted to use, and it showcased his ability that when he is beat, he has the speed to make up for it. And when he doesn't panic and turns his head, good things happen, aka a PBU. And if I'm not mistaken, the Seahawks had 10 PBUs in the game Monday night against the Texans. 10 pass breakups. So they were doing a phenomenal job of getting their hands on the football, knocking it away, and they did get an interception, and I'll go over that as well. But I did want to just talk about Riq a little bit. And the first play, it just showcases Riq's ability to stay on top of things, see it all the way through. And when I say see it all the way through, just the entire play. He breaks on the ball and is able to come back to it, and CJ has to make a really difficult throw. So right now, I'll break it down for you who's all on the screen. So at the top of your screen, at the 40, that's Riq. Down right next to him is Eamon Rory. You got the D-line there. So you got your chin at the bottom of the screen. You got Leo, Byron, Jay Reed, and I want to say Boye Mafe out there as well. Ernest in the middle linebacker, obviously. Josh Jobe, number 29, corner right behind Nwosu, Ty Okada, a few yards back of Jobe, and then Kobe Bryant at the other hash on top of the screen. So right now it's a 2 high safety look. They could be running a bunch of things. Who knows? But on the snap, of course, Mike Macdonald, he loves moving guys. And it's not only a Mike Macdonald thing. A lot of teams do this, but they're going to drop a safety down, and it appears to be a zone cover 3 look. And you're going to watch Riq at the top of the screen and how he plays it, because I thought he just did a wonderful job making it tough, because Riq, this is a good matchup, right? You have 2 guys that are both over 6 feet. Nico Collins about 6'3", 6'4". Guess how tall Riq is? 6'4". So this is a one-on-one match that you would want. Your best corner against their best receiver. And on this particular rep, Riq gets the W on this one. So as we roll it, you're gonna see Nico. He motions outside, and it's a deep in, and he's coming back to it. Now, if the ball is thrown where it needs to be, I think Riq probably picks this off. Riq is in good position right now. Obviously, it's a great throw to the outside because if he throws it inside, that is for sure getting intercepted. I think Riq is he's too quick. His instincts are too good. I think he's able to jump in front of that and make the play. So as we roll it, the ball is pretty much thrown to that. It's thrown to the far side, and that's a play where Nico doesn't make, and Riq is on top of it. And of course, everyone loves the seatbelt celebration, so that's what Riq does. He lets him know, I'm strapping up. You're not getting anywhere on that. Dig. He just explodes on it, and you have to make a tough throw. Like, that's tough to do. And Riq makes it look so easy. Like, as Mike McDonald has said, when he is locked in, he's taking stuff away. And you see it. CJ Stroud, okay, clean pocket, but the way that Riq is playing it, where are you going to throw it? If you throw to the inside, that's a pick. I'm sorry. You just look at that. He sees it. He's on top of it. He's on top of the D on the receiver. That's all you would ask of your cornerback is to see it develop. Just a beautiful way to break it down. And as you can see, Kobe drops down. So look at that. You got a covered 3 shell. Boom. Deep third at the top of your screen with Riq. Tile Cotta manning the middle, and then Josh Jobe on the other end. And you see that it's all pretty. Everyone sees everybody. There's nothing really open. It's blanketed. Like CJ Stroud, sure, if he wants to try to hit this crosser, I think Jobe is probably going to get there. He's looking dead at Nico, and he is breaking down to make a play on the football, and Riq is right there with him, step by step, forcing a throw that's just not going to happen. So a really impressive play by Riq on this one. I just thought, okay, Riq had a solid day, and that was really good to see, especially for a guy that's been struggling. It's been a rough season for him, as I mentioned earlier, that every time it feels like he's under the needle. And for him to just have a play showcasing that, you know what, he can ball out. I think that speaks to his skill set and what he's able to do on the field. This next play is one of my favorites. I talk about it a lot, especially tweet about it, I should say. And it's that double cornerback blitz. Now, obviously, Riq doesn't get credited with the sack, but it's the fact that Mike McDonald, he's just like, we're going to run it. We're going to try it out. And this play works out because guess what? It's an interception. So on this one, it's 2nd and 6. It's the third quarter. Seahawks are leading 14-6. Second down call, by the way. This isn't like 3rd and 9. This is a call on 2nd down. That's bold. 2nd and 6. This is obvious. A down where they can run it, they can pass it, they can do a bunch of different things. And Mike McDonald's like, yeah, we're sending the DBs. And a lot of people would say that Riq's not the most physical DB, so sending him on the blitz, no. But here it comes. Off the edge, good pressure. So shout out to Josh Jobe. He makes CJ Stroud to step up. And if you're looking at this, there's nothing. The only one that's open is Nico Collins at the bottom of your screen at the 40. But look at the pressure that CJ's trying to avoid. CJ doesn't even see Nico is available. He just doesn't see it. And obviously, I think Kobe might be able to drive on this play. And look at that. Ernest just dropping into the right area over the middle of the field where obviously when there's pressure, you want to find space. And where's there space, guys? In the middle of the field. And Ernest does his read the right way and is able to make a play. So a good call by Mike McDonald, good pressure by Riq and Josh Jobe getting in the backfield, forcing CJ Stroud to step up and make a really tough throw. And that tough throw falls right into the lap of Ernest Jones. Hell, had he not fallen, we're talking about a potential pick 6 here. But nonetheless, shout out to Riq Woolen and Josh Jobe. Double cornerback blitz. Cool stuff here by Mike McDonald. I mean, we'll pause it right now. So who are they rushing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 6 dudes coming in. That's a blitz, no longer a pressure. They're dropping 3 with 2 over the top, 5 in coverage. So this is just a money play, and it's successful, right? Interception. Boom. Bada boom, bada bang. Riq Woolen, Josh Jobe doing their thing in coverage. So that's really good and cool to see. And my last one is just showing the physicality of a Riq Woolen because, excuse me, Riq Again, I mentioned he's 6'4". He got some length to him. And you guys know the 5-yard rule. Within 5 yards, you can get very physical with the wide receiver. You can put hands on, all of that good stuff. And that's what Riq Woolen does here. So you got a 2nd and 5. Houston is they're removing the football, doing a lot of no huddle stuff. And this is a play where they're trying to get some action over the middle, a quick little slant. And JSN is having none, or not JSN, Riq Woolen is having none of that. So Riq Woolen is at the bottom of your screen here, going up against, I want to say that's 81. Let me triple check. Yeah, Jay Higgins. So he's going up against Jaden Higgins. And Riq just flat out wins this rep. It wasn't even close. Puts hands on young boy. And CJ was looking for him on this slant. It's just not there. Like, I want you guys to watch how physical he is. Come on, man. Where you going? Easy. And then, yeah, strap up. It's not happening. Like, look at the physicality. Boom. Good inside jab. You just love to see that from your DB. Hands on. Gets him off his step, because this should be a bang, bang, 1-2 drop for CJ, and he delivers a strike. And if you guys remember against the Giants 2 years ago, this is how Darius Slayton was eating. He was doing a bunch of slants, and he was eating across the middle of the field. He was getting a good release. DBs couldn't get their hands on him, and he was getting in front of the DB's face, winning and catching this and getting 12, 15 yards a pop. Riq Woolen, he says, no, this is not happening. You're not getting in front of me. I'm going to stop you in your tracks within the 5 yards, so it's not a penalty. Because what? He's doing it at the 24, 25, all the way to the 20. Yeah, come on, man. That's perfect ball right there. That's all you would ask of Riq. And when he is playing like this, he's really one of the top corners in this league. There's nowhere for CJ to go. And this was the read. 1-2, but it's not there because Riq is sitting on it. He sees it all the way through. Good hands, inside jab, forces the receiver to take a step back, and then he delivers by knocking the pass away. And as I mentioned earlier, Seahawks had 10 pass breakups, 10 PBUs, and here's another example of one of them. Just really cool defense from Tariq Woolen, and that's what you want to see from the young fella. You want to see him making plays like that, and that was just a couple of standout plays for me that I saw and said, you know what, time to show Riq some love because he deserves it. He played a really good game on Monday Night Football on the big stage.
Man, I was looking for that Riq player talking about. Yeah, it's so weird. It's good scrubbed from the internet. It's so weird. It's not on the film. It's not
that's
on
why I
the.
texted you.
It's not
I was
on
like,
the
maybe.
broadcast view. It's not on the full game review. It's not on NFL.com. So strange.
It's I
Yes,
don't know what happened.
but I know it happened. I know it
No,
happened.
yeah, I had to go back.
When it happened.
I had to go back to the live broadcast because I record every game, and it's right there. Your timestamps match up and everything, except for when you watch the tape. And I was really disappointed because that was a really cool play that I wanted to add, but I can't.
Oh wow!
So,
Oh man!
yeah.
Yeah. Shout to Riq though. Riq can cover. All right, so I'm gonna look at the run game here of my standout plays. You see it running right now. You guys have probably been wondering because me and Chris have been talking about it as well. And you know, if you watch the games, you can see why can't they do the runs that are supposed to be the bread and butter? Where's the wide zone? Where's the perimeter run game? Where's the running off the ball, getting the D linemen flowing, the linebackers flowing, the cutbacks? Like where is it? It hasn't been there. They've been running these toss plays that don't work with either running back. They're particularly bad when Zach does them, not because Zach is bad. So I loved what these guys did. And I guess the Texans, they're one of those teams that's very familiar with that scheme. They were running it themselves last year with the offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick, I believe, came from the Shanahan tree. So that's why he had CJ running that. So they know how to stop it. They were like, you can see some of these plays, like they're playing those edges, like, hey, you're going to have to run between the tackles to beat us today. And the Seahawks didn't run it super well. The numbers didn't plan out great. Success rate, Zach had some runs, but I will show you the ones that did hit that really stood out to me. And this is kind of going to be the blueprint, I think, going forward. It's like, all right, if teams are going to sell out to stop this thing you do, if these linebackers are going to be triggering super fast, then all right, cool. Hit him with the counter punch, right? So we're going to do 2 from Zach, and we are going to do 2 from Ken. All right. So this first one is from Zach. This is a 2nd and 10. It's an 8-yard gain. They're in 21 personnel, so they got not Brady Henderson. That's ESPN. Shout out Brady. They got Brady Russell in the game as the backup fullback. Robbie Oots is on IR. So the Texans are showing a too high look here. They have JSN to the short side of the field. I'm only going to show the end zone angle, but what I'm describing is important here. So to the short side of the field, they got JSN pressed up against Derek Stingley, and they're keeping a safety over there as well. So that's important. Keep that in mind. So they're kind of doubling, bracketing, giving the attention that we think of to Jax. They're also in a too high look against a team that has a fullback in. That's a dangerous thing. What they do is they match that personnel the Texans do with base. As you can see, well, you probably can't tell because everyone wears every jersey number, so it can be very confusing. But 45, 0, and 39 are all linebackers. Henry, something Polynesian, Aziz, something Arabic, and then just a regular name, EJ Speed, 45. So those are their 3 linebackers. So this is their base, right? So they match in their base with Seahawks heavy personnel, but still in a too high look with a safety over Jax and then a safety over Cup, I think is the other receiver here. But the Seahawks are like, all right, we don't need to hit to the perimeter right now. We're gonna go right up the gut here. So I mean, the A gap just sent the space between the center and the guards is just wide open here. So all we really got to do is roll this. Look at that. I mean, just off rip. Look at who's that? That is Sundell and Anthony Bradford. They're just washing 90 up out of here. Look at Gray right there, right in front of Brady, just holding down the other defensive tackle. So we already got the Red Sea parting here, which is great. Like, let's pause right when Zach gets the ball. We're good. Follow Brady Russell or Brady Henderson, whoever you want to follow. Follow them to the promised land there. All Brady got to do is take out Aziz, number 0, their Mike linebacker, and we're golden here. I love this from Gray, though. Look at that right there, Chris, from Gray. Just come on, man. Just perfectly love that. And Abe, too, by the way. And then all we got to do is gallop through this hole. I don't know. This seemed like a little bit too much dancing for me from Zach a little bit because look here. I would just rather you just hit that, kind of makes this a little harder than it needs to be for Eric Saubert there, I think, who's handling 45. But you see how it's like, all right, cool. We can just run it right at you. It reminds me a little bit, Chris, of that Jets game from last year where they just said, hey, this A gap is ours. We're just going right at it. And that was one of their best rushing games of the year. And then shout out to Cooper Kupp here. I'm going to show the end of this run. Watch Cooper come and try to get the safety here. The top, bang. Love Coop. Love Saubert, too. Look at their free agent signings popping up here as well, doing some good work here. And they're able to get to the second level. And this was a 8-yard gain on 2nd and 10. So not a first down, but a really good run to get. I forget what happened on 3rd down, but it doesn't matter. The point is that they got a really positive run in this instance. All right. And my next play here, this is my second play from Zach. This is 1st and 5. They're going to go get inside the tackles again, but it looks like a zone run this time. But the setup is similar, which is why this stood out as well. Instead of the 21 personnel, you're getting 12 personnel with AJ and Eric Saubert, other tight end, who's got the green cleats that you can see there. And again, the Texans got their 3 backers on here. They got Henry, 39, 0, and 45, right? So we got similar look, similar setup. And again, I'm not showing the wide angle, but it's the same with the receivers as well. You got 2 receivers. Jax is to the short side of the field with the safety number 2, Bullock over him, and Stingley is pressed up. So you're getting the attention you want from Jax, and then they're playing the other safety high as well. In this case, it's Petrie, number 5, right? So, all right, let's get some yards, boys. I forget why it was 1st and 5, but it doesn't matter. There's a penalty. All right. So here again, if all we got to do is we can win up front. All right, we're good here. You got your boy Anthony Bradford, everyone's favorite, doing his thing. Who is that sealing off the backside? Is that Charles? Yeah, that is. All right. So let's look at the picture again when Zach gets the ball. It's like we did last play. We're good here. This is some of the best blocking we didn't seen for Zach all damn season. The blocking for Zach has been so bad. But here we're good. We got Gray, who is a great athlete, has already climbed to our middle linebacker. We got Sundell clearing out this number 72, who had a good game against the Seahawks, I should say. And then, again, we got our guards getting up to the second level. We're good. And shout out Saubert again, doing his thing, showing why he was signed. And the safety number 2, look how far he is. He got to be, because the Seahawks have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Even though the other team has Stingley, they're still just like some safety help for you, which is fine. That's good for the Seahawks. And then look how far the other safety is off number 5. So again, heavy personnel, too high. You got to win these. And they're not always going to be able to hit the perimeter. Sometimes it's going to be like, all right, they can keep it inside the tackle zone, gap scheme, whatever, running right up the gut, don't matter. But they just got to be able to hit these type of runs. And you see when Zach gets the ball, boom, accelerate. Again, not really sure why. It's some dancing from Zach, whatever. It ends up working out. This ends up being, I think, an 8-yard run for a first down. So it's still fine. But the point is, I want to show you guys the blocking here, because like, freeze it. Zach can hit this. This is what it's supposed to look like. Everybody doing their job, tight ends included. I can't stress that enough too. It's not just the O-line when things go bad. When tight ends get beat and miss their blocks too, that's when things can get ugly. Like if Eric Sauber here is just whipped by 45, this run can go bad, and the O-line could, in theory, have all done their job. But everybody does their part here. Zach hits it. I would love for him to just like, imagine Chris here, if he just foot in the ground and then just makes 2 have to make a business decision here. Like, how bad you want to play in the NFL? I mean, 2 does a good job. I think that's Caleb Bullock, I think, who picks off Cooper Kupp. But make him have to make that tackle, though. Like, straight on, let's do this, you know? So I would have liked that instead of like the little hezzy there. I didn't like that. But the blocking, I'm sure that's what I really want you guys to see, and the ability to win with the other runs, because they're going to have to do this. Teams are not going to let them get on the perimeter. Even then, that was a zone run team. They got to move in. So I think that helped a little bit too. But this is what I think they're going to have to major in the meantime until they get the other stuff going. All right. This right here is the only run that Ken had, if you guys can believe it, that went for a first down. It didn't come until his 16th carry of 17. So this was in the 4th quarter. That shows you like how tough it was to get things going in the run. Whereas I just showed 2 Zach runs. I think those were both in the first half, where he was able to get some more juice. So it took a little bit longer for those to hit for Ken. But like, let me roll this play. Does it look familiar? Watch Sam on this, on the fake, and we're running a draw here from under center with Brady Russell. Same thing. Same action. Like Clint came back to it. I'm glad he did too, by the way. It's good on Clint, right? So let's freeze it before. All right. We'll move it back a little bit. All right. So same situation here. We're in 21 personnel. They're again too high. Like everything's pretty much the same here. Once again, Jax, I'm not going to show that angle, but Jax is to the short side of the field and Stingley's pressed up against him. So this is also a version of like your number 1 guy kind of dictating what you're getting that too high look. And then the other team is matching your heavies with too high shells. You should always be able to run for big gains in this. If you can, Seahawks going to win a lot of games if they can do this. And it's the same idea. We get our guys here, and again, the double team washes the gap wide. Watch 72 here getting double team. See ya, out of here. Let's freeze it when Ken gets the ball. Red Sea parting again. All Brady got to do is Russell, not Henderson. All Brady got to do is get to the linebacker, and we off to the races. And then again, it's not just the lineman. Look at AJ Barner to our left here. Remember, we had Saubert going against 45. Same thing. The tight ends got to do their job too. They are just as much a part of all the run game actions when they go well and when they go poorly. And then it hits. Boom. We're good. These are great runs. This is what it's supposed to look like. And if Ken can hit that a little bit more, and then also shout out to Kupp here. I think that's him getting the safety again as well. That is. Look at Kupp, man. Kupp's ready. He don't know where Ken is. He's like, I'm gonna get this safety and do my job. Like, this is important stuff here. I do like to highlight this. This is why they signed Cooper Kupp, because they want to get out here and do this stuff. And this run goes for 16. This was the longest one. So this is look at Brady Russell here at the end of this run, y'all. First down. Because that was the only time Ken ran for a first down the whole game. That was in the 4th quarter. That had to just be very frustrating for him to not get this going. But I like that Kubiak saw something, found something. All right. This time, this is another one from Ken. This is actually his next run, and this is his final run. It gets called back for a penalty on Gray Zabel, so we'll show that as well. But I think that the penalty doesn't negate the overall success of the blocking and the attack. Like Gray probably doesn't even hold here, but even if we assume that let's just agree with the refs. The idea is still, oh, look, the Seahawks are finding some runs I think they can hit with. Because this is pretty much the same joint as the second Zach run that I showed. Here we're under center. What's our personnel? Personnel is 11 this time. So we got 3 receivers on the field. So not as heavy, but we're getting too high. Again, I believe Jax is also to the boundary in this one as well. So this time we are going, zone run. All right, we're going to freeze it when Ken gets the ball. Bang. Woo, Chris, you see that gap on the hatch, baby? Let's hit it and let's roll. We got the double team. Who's that? Is that my boy Anthony Bradford? Got right to the linebacker. This is what Anthony Bradford's really good at, by the way. Like when he gets on linebackers, he's just too big to move. I look at Gray already climbed to that second level. Like this is good stuff. They actually rotate to a single high look with 29 coming down, their other safety, but it's to the other side of the field. So too slow, buddy. But like look what Ken sees right here. This is where Ken's speed, like in burst, really can be weaponized in the offense when everybody's doing their thing. That is speed right there. That's what it's all about. Again, Cup doing his part, this time getting the nickel. 5 was the safety on those other ones, but in their sub packages, he's their nickel. Him getting the nickel here. I actually would have wished Ken would have bounced this, though. This is the one time like, oh, Ken, take that outside. Maybe we got something. But either way, this goes for, I think, 17. Again, it gets called back. What'd you think of this, Chris? This is a hold on Gray?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was crazy at first, and then I just see this little tug right here, this little.
That's all it takes.
Like it's just
because 45 meets him. He's able to touch him if he doesn't hold him. I'd say that much, but that's all it
he's
takes.
Probably
sometimes.
not getting him, but yeah. But I think that in general, like if I'm showing this on film to the guys, I'm like, look, Gray, we can fix that. Overall, look at the rest of the run and the success that we have. And again, this is from a too high look that rotated down, so not the same as the other ones. But you guys can see the similarities in the two runs I'm showing from each running back. We're getting under center, running the draw, right up the gut, fullback, too high. Let's go. Hit the linebackers, clear out the double team the tackle. Let's roll. All right, we can get them with the zone as well. Double team the tackle. Everyone get to these backers because the problem in these other games, and Chris could tell you, the backers were triggering too fast. That's why they couldn't get any of these runs off the ground. Get them trigger a little slower. Or even if they do, get right on them. Hat. Great on hold right here, which he doesn't really need to, because Chris is right. He may touch him, but I've seen EJ speed
enough.
Yeah. Well, I just know this linebacker too. He's not. I think he's played for the Colts. Yeah, he's not getting it. He's not getting there. So like he doesn't need to do that, but I can see why the ref did throw that. Like I know Seahawks fans don't want to hear that, but I can see why you throw that. And then he just hits that. And then if Ken had just like right here, you bounce that back outside, you see which way Petrie's going. Petrie, the nickel, number 5, see which way he's going. You bounce that. As long as Jax is doing his thing, I think Jax is to the left, off the screen here, it hits. But in general, you guys, I think, and I'm going to just let these run real quick, make this final point. I think that when Mike McDonald said, I think it was Tuesday, it was like someone asked him about his run game. I think that was Brady Henderson that time. Said, and Mike McDonald's answer was, I think we made some progress, and I think that we kind of found something. He didn't say what, but I was like, when I go back and look at the film, I'm wondering if it'll pop to me. And I think this is what he's talking about. It's just like, all right, yeah, we're kind of built around this wide zone stuff, but we can hit him with some other zone runs. We can hit him up the middle on some of these draws. Like we can get back to using a fullback a little bit more. Robbie Oots is coming back after the bye. Supposedly, according to Mike McDonald. But yeah, I thought that this was a really good sign of progress. It wasn't enough. I think they could have ran it better in this game, but I watched the tape and I'm like, okay, there's something that you can work with what's going on here. And this is a good front too. Like this is a good team. So I think you can show this stuff coming out of the bye, like, hey, yeah, we're the wide zone team, but like we can do this stuff. We can do this stuff too. I mean, it's outside zone run, I believe that one was. So it's not just totally deviating from what they're supposed to be, but I thought that was very encouraging. It's not enough, but it's a good foundation. And it's better than some of the other games they've had. Some of the other games, I couldn't have found you a run where they ran for a first down for that many yards because they stunk. It was not good. It was guys not getting to the linebackers. It was guys not clearing out the tackles with the double teams. It was just bad stuff. So those are my standout plays. I really thought they found something, a decent foundation to build on in the run game. I'm glad that Clint Kubiak saw the success of those runs early in the first half with Zach, came back to him with Ken. That's something to build on. It is. That's good. I'm trying to be positive going into the bye because they're 5-2. So I think that stood out to me. That's good. That's good stuff to work with. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see similar stuff against the Commanders to try to make sure, like, because Bobby and Frankie Louvu are good linebackers. So you got to make sure you get to them because they will trigger fast. So if you can get to them with just right up the gut, like, I think that's going to be very, 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 very key. So those are my standout plays. Chris shouted out Riq. We got 2 positive ones. I don't know if we've done that yet. A bunch of positives. So we got that going. We appreciate you guys tapping into our Standout Play segment, a YouTube exclusive. Make sure you like, subscribe, go to our Instagram, go to our TikTok, like, subscribe, share, repost, comment, review, all the good buttons. Please press them for us. Make sure you check out our One Big Thing segment as well. That is available on this channel on YouTube as well, and available on all audio platforms where you get your podcasts. No game this week. We're going to rest, watch some football. Hopefully we come back with a preview of the Commanders game next week. I'm going to call the homie Tashawn Reed. Hope we can get him on the line. Until then, thanks for the love and support. Anything else, Chris?
That'll do it, man. We got it.
All right. Catch you guys next time. Peace.